Hey, hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, friends. Right, welcome back to our day 18 on Power BI session. So, I hope everyone is doing well. We have successfully completed 17 days of the program, right? Yes, so we'll quickly understand what we have covered yesterday, and we'll continue with the topic that we are left out with. So, yesterday we started understanding Power BI service, and unfortunately, you know, the temporary ID that I have used yesterday was not having more permissions, so I have changed my temporary ID. Okay, so when I tried logging today, I had some issues. So because of that, I'm unable to do more. I don't have permissions for majority of the things, so that is the reason I have changed my temporary ID. Okay, the temporary mail ID that I have used earlier, I'm not going to use today. So I'll not execute the entire process, but you see, whatever we have understood the temporary ID, how we are logging into Power BI service, everything I have done earlier, so it's done. Now I'll just continue with publishing part. Okay, I'll make it fast. So I'll click on save, then clicking on publish. So it will ask you, where do you want to publish? So it's my workspace, the folder in which I want to publish. Click on select. Excuse me. Done. So we are successfully done, friends. And did it reflect over here? See, it reflected, but it took some time. So this is nothing but our report. Okay. So the file, the Power BI file that we have created using Power BI desktop, and these are the visuals. Let us also quickly pin some of the visuals to make a dashboard. Okay, so probably I'll select a few, then I'm pinning sample dashboard. Done. Okay, then in the same way, let me also select a few more. So this is also interesting. Yeah, then combination charts, I'll ignore pie chart. Yes, probably a pie chart. So I'm randomly selecting, friends. I'm randomly selecting a few of the visuals that are required to be pinned to the dashboard. Okay, so let us check, do we have any? No, for this ID also we don't have the map visual access. Okay, so I'll pin tree map. Done. Then let us also explore these options. Probably we have understood these three. I'll talk about subscription. So it is still saying as okay, let me go with try free. So all paid features of Power BI are yours for next coming 30 60 days. Okay, but we are aware that this particular temp ID will be only for 14 days. Okay, till 14 days you can access the features of Power BI with this ID. Okay, later on you can change. So it started. You see here the free trial has started. 59 days left. So you'll see the count. So this is with respect to the options that you have over here, friends. But in general, you'll have only for 14 days. The ID will be valid only for 14 days. Okay, so I'll click on subscribe. See, yesterday it did not allow, right? You see here, it is giving us to create a subscription. But is it required to create a subscription? Yes. In our hurry day-to-day life, are you sure that you are going to remember things? Not exactly, right? So it's better if you go and subscribe, you create the subscriptions. So Power BI is going to send you notifications. Okay, so see how I'm going to create a subscription. Click on the create subscription. Then, so it is asking you what should be the subscription name. Okay, so probably it's not map visuals or I'll keep it as test. Okay, I want to make my subscription name as test. And who all should get this subscription? Okay, it should be only you. So it's me. If not, if you have anyone else, code. Okay, let me try. Anyone? No, I see here. So some temporary IDs. Okay, so like how we have created using this temporary ID. So there are many folks who are using these temporary IDs for practicing Power BI service, right? So they might have used these. See, Ankit, then who else? Abdul. But only why are we getting these two names is because of our domain. What is the domain that I'm using now? codwords.com, and it is matching with the rest of the two folks. So that is the reason I'm able to get these two people. Okay, so in the same way you go with another alphabet. So no name starts with E. Yep, with Y we have again one person, then H. So whomever it might be, so just select them. So the subscription, as you are adding them in the recipients, they will also get the subscription, friends. Even these people will get the subscriptions. Okay, right. Attach report. So would you like to attach any report? So if you are interested in sharing any reports, you can also share reports. Okay. So if you are not interested in adding any of the PDF or Excel files or whatever it might be, PPTs and all, you can ignore it. Then it will ask you to give the time period. What is the start date and what is the end date? Probably it should start from today, and for the next coming 1 month, it should be active. This subscription should be active. And when would you like to repeat it? Do you want to repeat it daily, hourly, weekly, monthly? It's up to you. So I don't want to make it daily, probably weekly once. So after selecting weekly, you're getting the weekdays. On which day would you like to get the subscription? Okay, probably the moment I entered office on Monday, I should get the subscription on Monday. Okay, and on Wednesday, probably if you are that's what you're whatever you select only on those days you'll get the subscription, friends. So to ensure that you go and check this particular visual again. Okay, then schedule time. At what time would you are you interested in getting this subscription? Okay, so probably 10:30 is making sense. It's not PM, it should be AM. So on Monday and Wednesday, I'll get this subscription, right? At 10:30. Then make sure you also select the right time zone. So this is our time zone. Okay, Chennai, Calcutta, and Mumbai, Delhi. So it's UTC plus 5.5 hours, right? So then you ignore all this stuff. We also have more options. So you can add a email subject. Okay, if you are interested, you can also specify the email subject here itself. Then what message would you like to send as part of the email for the subscription? Okay, then report pages, again it's up to you, the map visual. Okay, or would you like to go with any other page? Okay, then so by default you'll have all the permissions. So that's it. Once if after providing all these, you can click on save. So a subscription called test has been added, it has been created, and on every Monday and Wednesday for the next 1 month at 10:30 a.m. we'll get the notification for this visual. So in this way it allows us to provide subscriptions because we are unable to manage our work, right? So what we do is we keep on forgetting the things. So Power BI allows us to provide the subscriptions also, right? Then apart from subscription, we also have set alerts. So we can also set an alerts. So some issue with respect to set alerts, I'm closing it off. You can also create some kind of alerts over here. Okay. So these are the things that they are very important. Then one important point that we have to observe here is you go back to my workspace. Anyways, we have created the sample dashboard, right? Let me open the sample dashboard. So this is my sample dashboard where I have 4 tiles, and we are aware that in a dashboard the tiles does not interact, right? So the tiles does not interact with each other, and we also discussed this Q&A part yesterday, right? So if you are going with any of the question, it is going to answer you in a visual. The same option that we have in uh, what Power BI desktop, the Q&A component. Okay, it is seen. So I how many visuals I have? Four tiles. I'll go back to my workspace, and there is an important feature that someone has to look over here is you click on the ellipse prints. When you click on the ellipse, you'll get some options, and out of these options there is an option called quick insights. So this is very important. Okay, so this is very important. And what exactly does is quick insights does is the moment you click on quick insights, you see here it started searching for the data. Okay, it understands some uh, the data that we have imported from the files, and it gets the insights. See, in majority of the cases it comes up with insights. Only in few cases it fails. Okay, so let us explore the insights that Power BI has gave us. I'll click on view insights. Oh my god, who created all these? Did I create? No. Power BI has created these tiles, these visuals, charts. And if you feel that any one of this chart is important, if you feel it's good, okay, or if it is making sense, then you are supposed to add the tile to the dashboard. Okay, I'll come by line in order. So this is correlation. So it is a scatter plot. So in data visualization topic we discussed the scatter plot, right? So this is scatter plot in which we have the correlation between quantity and sales ID. So probably this is not making sense, but if you see here, this is making sense. For customers, there is membership level, silver, platinum, and gold. We did not, we did not discuss about this. Discuss in the sense we felt not that much good, but Power BI came up with a donut chart, and this is actually talking about our membership levels. So gold 4%, platinum, sorry, gold is 15%, platinum is 19%, silver is 65%. Okay, and if you feel that this particular chart is important, you can pin it to the dashboard. You see the pin visual. So again, next to that we have focus mode. Focus mode is already, we are aware of this focus mode. So I'll click on, you know, pin visual, the same where the existing dashboard. It's done. Okay, so this is again similar, and it's an important you know option that we get from Power BI service, the quick insights. And it also gave a message: silver accounts for the majority of the sale ID are from city San Francisco. So probably we can start doing some kind of campaigning in San Francisco. Okay, so we can reduce our prices because many of them, they are interested in taking up the membership level, and we are getting more profits from this region, from this market, from this location. Okay, why don't we convert this silver to gold or platinum? So when we come up with some bundle offers, we can convert these folks to the next level, friends. Okay, in the membership level. Then quantity by manager, this was already discussed. Count of customer by location. Okay, what is the count of customers by location? So even this is, if you feel this is important, you can pin it. Then so you see here, what is it? Count of city by store ID. Okay, based on the store ID, we have the count of the city. City for day Thursday has outliers. So probably we should consider this, because on Thursday might be majority of the people are visiting, or might be the visitors are being reduced. So this is something we have to focus on. And customer is trending upwards for rating 3.5. So majority of them, are with respect to nominal data. I'm not that much interested in going those with those charts. So count of city by category. Okay. Count of customer by city. Membership level. Store ID by sale ID by location. This is also making sense. Right. So probably let us. So if you see, some of these charts are also repeated. Okay. So let us not ignore about the duplicates. So whatever is required for you, only focus on them. So we are done with the quick insights part as well. Now you go and open the sample dashboard. So from the quick insights, whatever we have felt that it's important. Okay, this style is important for the dashboard. You can pin it to the dashboard. Done. So till here, it's clear. So you can also do the same subscriptions to the dashboard, friends. In the report level, how we have created the subscriptions, in the same way we can also create subscriptions for the dashboard. I'll not repeat the process because it is the same. Okay, you have to create, you have to give a name, then you have to provide all the recipients, the duration, the time, the zone. Okay, as well as the mail and the body. So these are the optional, and you can create a subscription for your dashboard as well. Apart from creating dashboards, we can edit. So I'll talk about this. Before that, so you see here, you can save a copy. Okay, you can save a copy of this dashboard. I'll click on it. See, okay, you can create a duplicate if you are interested. Okay, so you can give a name. I'm not interested in creating a duplicate. Then you can print it, but anyways, it doesn't make sense. Then you can share across your organization. Okay, so only across your organization we are supposed to share this dashboard, and it allows us, see, it is giving all the points, list of points that it is going to perform. It sends an email notification, allow recipients to build content with the dash data associated with this dashboard, allow recipients to share this dashboard. So even for the folks that we have shared, even those folks can share this dashboard. Okay, right. Then we can also chat in Teams because all of these are products of Microsoft. So it allows us to chat across Teams. Okay. So, and you can also add some comments, friends. Okay. So, you can create your conversation. So, for example, as a message, they don't, sorry, how is this dashboard looking? So you can tag the people as well at the rate. So with your organization people, you can you know you can start a conversation. Okay, then you can post. So those folks will get the reminder, they'll get a notification, and they'll start conversation. So it allows us to add comments, right? This is full screen, you see here. Anyways, let us not we'll talk about rest of the things later. I have some few points, these are important. Right. So these are the basic options that you get for a sample dashboard. And you see a drop down. So it's giving the complete information. You can change the name of your dashboard, where exactly this dashboard is residing, the location you get. Okay. And who have actually created it. You can have the contact. Anyways, we'll talk about, you know, the dashboard options that we have with respect to editing. Okay, so let me go with add a tile. So tile is nothing but each and every visual is a tile, friends. Okay, for suppose if I want to create or if I want to add a tile which is an image. Okay, so probably I'll start with a text box. Not I'll not generally go with image. Let me go with a text box. Okay, so I'll start a text box. I'll add a tile which has a text in it. Then after selecting the tile from the media, click on next. So it will ask you some required things. You are supposed to you're supposed to give all the details. Okay, so probably yes. The first one is display title and subtitle. So would you like to display both title and subtitle? You can check in this box. Okay, you can check in this box. If not, only the title, give the title, friends. So I'll keep it as sample dashboard. Okay, right. So this is what it's going to display. So whatever you are going to keep over here, the content will be displayed. So I'm keeping it as sample dashboard as the text. I'll copy. I'm selecting a text. Then I'm increasing the font size. Then I'll make it bold, center aligned. So all these options are not new for us, right? So the same options. Yes. Once after completing these options, yes, click on apply. Don't go for the other options. These are related to the links. So when you if you feel that you would like to add a text and it should contain any link, then you're supposed to come with custom link as well. So I'll talk about that later. Okay, click on apply. Is it done? Yes, it is done. But where is the tile? Scroll down, you'll find it over here. You'll find it here. So this text, where would you like to have? Probably this is the heading, right? This is the title. So should I keep the title at the end of the dashboard? No, right? So this have to be at the top here. Then how can I make it, how can I change this alignment is left click on the tile and change it. See, okay. Also reduce in size. Done. Now adjust the rest of the tiles. So you can move the tiles, friends. Okay, don't assume that these tiles are fixed. The tiles are movable. So again, if you feel that this particular title is not well, click on ellipse, edit details. Again, it redirects us to the same page. So probably this is very small in size. I'll make it 72. Or let me, right? See. So we are done with adding a text box. We have successfully added a text box, right? In the same way, I can also come up with an image. I can also come up with an image. But does image adding a tile for an image? Okay, what is the purpose of adding an image is, for example, if you are going to share this dashboard to a client, okay, so why don't you add the logo of the client? Yes, we can have the logo of the client, right? Client will obviously have a logo, and better you add that image of the logo to this tile. Okay, so as we don't have any customers, any clients so far, I'll take. Okay, let me start the process. Click on image, under select source, click on image, then click on next. So the same, right? Yes. So would you like to display title and subtitle? Probably no. I don't want to keep any subtitle. So my title name is Power BI logo. So I'm going to add logo of Power BI, Microsoft Power BI, and you're supposed to provide, the URL here, friends. The link of the image should be provided. You cannot add the images that you have in your system. Okay, so the system, whatever the images that you have in your local machine cannot be added because it accepts only the URLs, right? So I'll open another tab, then I'll keep it as Power BI logo. See, I got multiple images. So let me take one. Probably this is making sense. I get the link. Mm, yep. Sorry, 1 minute. Done. So I got the link of that particular image. Then I'm clicking on, I'll talk about this, but before that, I'll click on apply. So immediately it should reflect. So it's saying we couldn't load that image. So again, some of the images might not be accepted. Okay, so there might be some reasons. So let us not focus on that, but we'll change, you know, the link. Let us change the link. This is making sense. Let's see whether it's accepting or not. Right. But this doesn't work, right? Just give me a minute. Let me go in this way. No. There is some glitch. I assume that there is some issue at. Mm, this is also done in the right way, right? Why it's not loading? But anyways, I'll look into this, friends. I'll probably talk about this because it have to show the image, and even we can also come up with, you know, the custom link. That is, when you are using any of the image, and if when you click on the image, it should redirect us to one more link. If that is the case, you can also come up with a custom link. Assume that I have provided you know the link, or I have provided client's logo. Okay, in a tile I have provided client's logo, and the moment I click on the logo of the client, it should redirect us to the website of client. So in that cases, probably it works. I hope you're getting the point. So what you are supposed to do is, under this URL, you'll give the URL of the client logo of the client. Then set, and when you click on set custom link, you are supposed to provide the link of. So probably this will help us. Let me check. This has to work. Mhm. Ah, so the moment you provide the URL of the website, again it will ask you, would you like to open the link in the same tab or in the one more tab? So keep it as no. So if you make it as yes, the website will be opened in the same link, right? So keep it as no, and unfortunately, it's not allowing contacts. Okay, this is okay. Let me try this. Yep, it's working. It's working, right? Now I'll adjust it. I'll adjust it in a way like, let me probably, the moment I click on it, it's redirecting us to Power BI desktop. But let me adjust it. I'm adjusting the tiles. Yep, done. So I have provided the link of the image, as well as I have also provided the external link. So the moment I click on the logo or this image, it is redirecting us to the official site of Power BI. Because you see here, under this I have provided the credentials of Power BI, the official site of Power BI, and this is the URL of the image. So that's what I was discussing. Not all the images will be accepted, but majority of them, yes. Okay, so whatever we have tried did not work. So this is the previous one that I have used in my earlier classes. So this is the one that we are able to visualize. Got it? So again, if you are not interested to have this title and all, you can remove. Okay, so it's mandatory. Okay, cannot remove. Acha. Since I have clicked on it, it's saying that it is required. Now you can remove and click on apply. See. Okay, so whatever the fields that contains the asterisk mark, only those fields are mandatory, and rest of them are not mandatory. So now it's clear. We can also add an image, a text box, a video as well as friends. But you see here, I got a pop-up. Web content tiles on dashboards have been disabled by your administrator. But who is my administrator? It is talking about, so this domain that I'm using will be under one administrator, right? So for this domain people, it is not, these people does not have the access for videos. Videos in the sense, like how we have added a text box, in the same way how we have added a image, in a similar fashion, we can add a YouTube video. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. But you see how the background color, these two are enabled and these two are disabled. So that means we don't have access for adding a video as one of the tile. Probably I don't have. Why? Because I'm using one of the temporary ID. Okay, so when you use the similar kind of domain, you folks will not have the access. But when you work in real time, you'll have the access, right? So even though when you don't have the access, you can contact the administrator and they'll make these options enabled. These are disabled for us. Scroll down. When you scroll down, you'll have real-time data. What is this real-time data? So this is something important, friends, because you can also connect to real-time data and visualize them. Visualize the data. Okay, so that can be added as one of the tile in your dashboard. Is it possible? Yes. Okay, so for that, you are supposed to select custom streaming data, nothing but real-time data. What is real-time data? The data which is generated live. Okay, examples, if there is any cricket match going on, we'll have the data generated live. If there is any soccer match going on, we'll have the data generated live. Yes. So that is nothing but custom streaming data or real-time data. Okay. So you should have the API keys. You should have the access for streaming such kind of data. So what happened is, I'll show you. Power BI, especially this Microsoft folks, have given us a demo real-time data. Keep it as real-time data Power BI. You see here, real-time streaming in Power BI. So in this link, we have the credentials. Okay, so this will help us to learn how we are able to connect for real-time data. Okay, so I'll click on this link. Okay, it redirects us to one more page. Scroll down. So in this fashion, you will visualize the real-time data in your dashboard. Okay, scroll down. So PubNub is the streaming semantic model that we are going to use. So just follow the steps. You need not worry about the rest. Okay, just follow the steps. So this is using API friends. If you have any API, okay, let me show it practically immediately so that you know I'm selecting custom streaming data. Then I'll click on next. So what is the what it is asking us? Choose a streaming data set. Do we have any real-time streaming data set? No, right? But click on add streaming data set. This feature will be retired soon. Okay, let us not worry about that. So the moment you clicked on choose data set, real-time streaming data set, you got three options: API, Azure Stream, and PubNub. I'll go back. So are these three same as the three that we have? Yes, API, Azure Stream, and PubNub. So API is nothing but application program interface. So we don't have any of the API keys. If you have the API keys, you are supposed to provide all of them, the data set name, okay, and all. So let us not go with API. Then the next one is Azure Stream. So if you have Azure Stream, if you have the access for the Azure Stream, you can also connect Azure Stream, the data that is present in the Azure Stream. So this is also something we don't have. Then the third one is PubNub, right? 1 minute, I have to scroll to the down. Yes, the third one is PubNub. So this is a basic API that Microsoft is providing us to ensure that we learn how we are going to connect live streaming data set. Click on PubNub, then click on next. So you see the first three fields are mandatory: dataset name, then subkey name, channel name. But where do we have these credentials? Don't worry, friends. You'll find the same in that particular link as well. In this website, okay, the real-time streaming data that Power BI, Microsoft Power BI is providing, you'll have the complete details. Scroll down. So we have followed the same steps. Now you'll have the details. Just copy it from here, paste in that required place. So it's PM demo. This is an image. Yep, probably yes. It is also available here. Let me. Dataset name is PM demo. Then it is asking the subkey name, the subkey. So you see the subkey is available here. Copy it. Go back. Paste it. Channel name. It is PubNub Sensor Network. So this is the channel name. So at this position, okay, in this channel, okay, using the subkey, we have the data set called PM demo. Okay, click on next. So these are the strings, nothing but these are the columns. What are the different columns that we have? Sensor, UUID, it's an ID, humidity, photo sensor, ambient temperature, radiation level, timestamp, and so on. That's it. So if you don't want to have any of these fields, you can remove them. Okay. So in total, these are the columns that you have. Okay. So this is generally talking about probably, what the temperature, the humidity handle might be the climate related data set. Yes. Okay. So moreover, we also have timestamp. So it is something related to time series data friends. Okay, so based on the timestamp, we have the values captured, the temperature, okay, humidity, radiation, and all. Then once after having this data set and all, you can click on create. So what got created? Just the data set got created, friends. So far, we just created the data set, nothing else. Then repeat the same process, click on edit, then add a tile, scroll down, click on custom streaming data, then click on next. Now you see the data set has been added. It's PM demo. Okay, once it got added, select it and click on next. Done. But we should visualize it, right? So let us, it is asking what type of visualization would you like to go with? A card visual, line chart, bar chart, column chart, gauge chart. So this is a KPI chart. Uh, we'll talk. Okay. So as we have time related data, I'll go with the line chart because generally line chart is widely used. It's a bright visual where we can visualize time related data, time series data. Okay. Excuse me. So under axis, for x-axis, I'm going with timestamp. Okay. And for legend, I'll not go with any of these, but for values, I'll go with probably let me check how is the humidity and all. Okay, then it is asking us time window to display from last how many minutes would you like to go with. It's not only minutes, you can also go with seconds. Then it's not only 1 minute or 5 minutes, you can customize. Let me go with last 5 minutes window. Okay, so what is the time here? It's 7:19, right? So last 5 minutes will be 7:14. Click on next. Okay, so all the fields have been done. So I'm not going with any custom link. I'll click on apply. You see here, we have connected successfully. Let's wait. See, for the last this window, 5 minutes time window, it is displaying how the humidity with respect to the time. Okay, we have the connection. It's displaying. See, it's real time data. I mean, it's live streaming. So we can also visualize live streaming data. We can have it added as a tile in our dashboard. Power BI allows us to add a live streaming data as well. Observe it, friends. In general, also the procedure will be same. Okay, but when you work in real time as a Power BI, a data analyst, or say Power BI developer, whatever it might be, you'll get the credentials. So you'll have the access for all these things. See how you're able to see the line. So humidity is between 79 to 81. Okay, so on a particular location, they did not disclose at which location and all. So on a particular location on Earth, okay, it might be US or India, whatever it might be, on a particular location. So the range of the humidity at this time period is between 79 to 81. If not, you can customize them. Again, go and edit the details. See, if you don't want to have it for the last 5 minutes, if you want to have it for the last 1 minute, see how it is allowing us to visualize live streaming data. But are we able to make these tiles interact? Impossible. In dashboard level, we cannot assume that these tiles will interact. The tiles does not interact. So this is with respect to humidity. Let me, excuse me. Let me also create one more tile, but this time I'll go with probably temperature. I want to check the temperature with time. So I'll go with the line chart. So obviously, if it is a line chart, the x-axis will be taken as time, and for values, I am going to take ambient temperature and legend. Probably I'll not use anything because it gets clumsy. Let us not go with this. Then for the last how many seconds? I'll go with last 10 seconds from this particular window. Then I'll click on apply. You see here how fast it is. So this is temperature with respect to seconds, and it's around 20 to 21 Celsius. And this is humidity. I have kept the range in minutes, so that is the reason it's a bit slow and this is very fast. Even you can observe the time period for every 2-3 seconds you are able to see it, but here not exactly, right? Yes. So that makes the difference. So these are the major things that you can you know focus with respect to dashboard, friends, because dashboards are a single page. See, it's a single page story. So in one storyline, if you want to show everything, it's a dashboard, because here only the important tiles will be added, and moreover these tiles will not be interacting with each other. Okay, the charts will not interact with each other. So now a question for all of you: can we have a slicer? Can we have a slicer in dashboard? Don't ask me what is a slicer. Okay, I hope every one of you have remember slicer. Yes or no, friends? Can we have a slicer added to a dashboard or not? What do you see? Taking time. What is a slicer? This is a slicer which is used for filtering. Hope you remember slicer, right? So can we add a slicer to dashboard is the question. Okay, my friend says yes, we can. Okay, is what I have got. Let me try. Okay, so for that I'll go back to the report level. Okay, so here, so in table matrix visuals, I'll come up with a slicer. Okay, I'll add a slicer. For that I'll click on edit. I'll go back. So probably here I'll add a slicer. Okay, so in this slicer, categories. Hmm. So this is enough. So I'll save it. I'm done. Report saved. Then I'll go back to reading mode. So friends, it is done. So slicer, I have it in my dashboard or in the report. So this is, I have it in the report. Okay, and because of this slicer, it is allowing us to filter the data with respect to the rest of the tiles. So with respect to grocery, what are the records and what is the total amount? Okay, and you see, even all the charts, all the tiles are interacting, electronics. So in this way, okay. Now let us add this slicer to our dashboard. Okay, but I don't have the pin visual. What is this pin visual? This is the pin on the bottom of the visual, which is generally used to pin the visual to a dashboard. But do you see the same pin visual for a slicer? Yes or no? Do you find any pin visual option for a slicer? No, I don't see any pin visual option. So if you don't have a pin visual option, okay, then how can we have it added this particular slicer to our dashboard? Impossible, right? So why am I asking you the question is, if I have slicer added to the dashboard, so using the slicer I can interact, right? At least. But what is the statement that we have understood? Dashboard. In dashboard, the tiles does not interact. So that is the reason it does not have a slicer cannot be pinned to a dashboard. Only in the report level for filtering purpose a slicer is used. But this slicer you cannot pin to a dashboard. I hope it's making sense. Just give a quick confirmation, yes or no. Is it making sense? Not only slicer friends, there are few more visuals, whatever visuals that helps us for filtering. Okay, at dashboard level cannot be pinned to dashboard. They cannot be pinned because a dashboard is a single page storytelling point. Okay, and here the charts does not interact. Clear? So with this, we also created a small dashboard, a sample dashboard. There are few more topics. One is direct connectivity. Probably we are going to discuss that topic tomorrow. Okay, so what is this direct connectivity? And there are a few more topics like row level security and all. We'll discuss, and with that, we can you can for sure assume that you are, you know, at least an intermediate kind of knowledge you have on Power BI, because even majority of the people working in real world they'll not have the knowledge. To be frank, to be honest, when you do hands-on and when you be part of the real world, understand all these. Okay, right. I'll conclude today's session, and you know we'll have time for our questions. Yes, slicer cannot be added. Not only slicer, any kind of related or similar kind of visuals like slicer which are used for filtering, they cannot be generally added to dashboard. They cannot be pinned, right? Yes. So friends, any questions? If no questions, how is the session? Is it great or good? Okay, thank you. Moreover, friends, probably in the next week, we are going to start a new program on one more technology. Okay, so it is related to structured query language SQL. Okay, so I hope every one of you will utilize these sessions in a right way and share across your connections. Okay, so whomever it might be, your friends, your relatives, okay, your neighbors, whomever, if they are interested in learning these sessions, ask them to join. And moreover, these sessions are available over the YouTube, right? So ask them to learn these amazing, wonderful sessions, right? So the feedback link has been provided. Please provide your feedback before you leave, and also, just give a like, add some kind of comments, and if possible, make a share. Okay, just give a share before you leave. You told you will share the link. Learning more on Power BI. I did not get your question. Probably you do one thing. I think you have the number, right? So just give a call on the number. So we'll discuss. Right. So that's all for the day. We'll connect in the next session. Until then, take care. Have a great day. Signing off.